Norbert Mundorf.
Thank you.
Professor.
We already heard that transportation plays a major role in greenhouse gas emissions. There's a number of other things, congestion, other pollution, etc. So in general, it's a good idea to reduce single occupancy vehicle use. And by and large, there's so three different things you can do. One is investing in infrastructure, like adding like a airline rail connection would be great and all that, but that takes a long time. Policy changes. For instance, you mentioned the parking fees, often very unpopular, and the impact is also doubtful sometimes, although it seems to work. But the biggest one is behavior change, and especially in transportation, looking at the things that you are right, that have the impact on greenhouse gases. For instance, heating is tough because it's centrally regulated, and we have Nebraska working on that. Electricity is also not quite that easy to manipulate because we have all this technology, but transportation is pretty much in our hands because we can make a choice today if we, drive by ourselves, drive the carpool, take the bus, or bike to work or walk, depending on how far we are. So my work is focused on the behavior end of this question, and we're lucky because URI is actually one of the world's leading universities as far as behavior change. We have the cancer prevention group with under Jim Prochaska, and they've developed a very successful behavior change model that has been applied primarily to health behaviors. Okay, so for instance, smoking cessation, weight loss, exercise, etc. More recently, also medication compliance and all those things. But there's potential to apply the same model or modification of that model to sustainability. And there's actually a number of universities where people have worked in that direction, but most of them are in Australia. And so this is our chance as Americans to catch up. And just to give you a couple of words about the model, and then I'll move on to some things that we can do. So the model essentially is stage-based, okay? And the premise is that we are at different levels of readiness for change. So there are many people that are pre-contemplators, so actually most of us are, as far as driving, you get in your car and you don't think about the polar bears or anything else that could be affected by the fact that you drive by yourself. So that group of pre-contemplators tends to be fairly big, and it varies. Then the second group is what we call contemplators. So these are people that think about change, but they haven't done anything about it. So they know that there's something going on with greenhouse gases, with the environment. We should do something, but what can I do? Yeah. And plus, it's I don't like to walk to the bus stop, and it's so much easier, and I have stuff to carry. So there's lots of reasons not to change. And then the third stage is the pre-preparation stage. People are actually ready to make a change, but they just need that final push. And maybe that's when you have extra, when you have a better bus schedule, or maybe there's more bike racks available and all those things that may help move people from preparation to action, which is that's actually the goal for this model, is to bring people to action, or maintenance, which means action for at least 6 months. Okay? Now, most behavior change models have focused on this action stage. If you think about weight loss programs, for instance, they want you to quit now, and then they don't really take into account that it takes people a long time to get from pre-contemplation to action. So that's what we're trying to do. So we've done some preliminary work. Actually, one of my master's students, Dan Fischstein, just finished his defended his thesis yesterday, and he looked at the stages among URI students for transportation, and then he looked at something called self-efficacy, which means the confidence that you have that you can make a difference. Okay, you can change, and he found a relationship between the stages and self-efficacy. He also did some interventions where he showed them different videos, and all of the 3 types of videos that he showed all had a positive impact in terms of moving people along in those stages. Okay. So finally, what does it all mean for us? If you think in terms of URI, one important thing is, when you, in terms of changing, is resistance to change. Okay? And we often find that, for instance, among students, you find a lot of resistance when there's something that is top down. So we, as faculty or administration, say, you guys have to start carpooling now, take the bus. That's not very popular. So, for instance, the model that Eric and his colleagues have done, a bottom-up type of approach, that's one way of getting over this resistance. The other thing is, once we have a better handle on the stages, we can design messages for people at the different stages, and obviously, the pre-contemplators need different messages than the people in the preparation stage. Okay? And finally, of course, any kind of external improvements, such as things that Ripta is going to do and other things, will encourage, especially the people that are already advanced in their stages, to move to the next one. And so if you have, if you have cheaper bus passes, or if you have more bus lines, or maybe other things, that plays a big role. Okay? And finally, just for the staff and faculty level, there's another consideration, which is health. Okay? Because most alternative transportation also is healthier than driving. Yeah? Not just biking and walking, but even public transportation. And you guys should take advantage of this. There's some studies that have shown that people that take the bus or the train, etc., they're much more likely to walk the 10,000 steps, which is supposed to be what you do on a daily basis in order to be healthy, than people that drive by themselves. Thank you.